What's good with y'all, man? So today we're gonna be talking about everything wrong with old gen Madden and everything wrong with new gen Madden, right? Because there's a lot wrong with both, and I just basically want to point out that both games are equally as bad. That's right, both these games are equally terrible. It doesn't matter what gen you're on, either way you're playing a terrible game. And I just want to point that out, right? I'm here to. I'm a negative guy when it comes to Madden. I'm a negative person because it's a terrible game. And until the game's good, I'm gonna continue to hate on it. So let's get into it. Basically, let's start off with last gen. So basically, last gen. Where do I start? Let's start with the meta. Well, let's start with what basically got me off last gen. The one step aheads, right? And I hate when I hear people say, oh well, the one step aheads aren't really all that. Well, you're not really playing people good. I can vouch for that. You're not playing people good. All right, so that's just one thing. Basically, abilities, right? They're just way too overpowered. The abilities are just, there's never a balance. They always find a way to fuck shit up. Let's go to 12 AP. I want to know who thought of that, because you're an idiot. Let's add 12 AP. Let's just ruin the game. Yeah, good job, buddy. You did that all right. And so abilities, right? They're just like, what are we doing with them, right? They're just not good. Also the DCs, basic of this is on, I don't know if it's on Xbox or PlayStation. Basically, there's a new DC glitch going around on PlayStation. And people are running wild with it. I've heard people are running wild with it. Beware, be aware. Yeah, I just want to point that out, and fuck it, throw it in the video while we're at it. But yeah, PS4 boys, watch out. There's people running around wild, DCing people like they're legit. They figured out a new glitch. I don't know how they do it, and it doesn't surprise me that they did, because it's an EA game. So but yeah, that's just another issue with last gen. And just overall, I mean, just that's really what kills that game. I'll be honest. It's just, you know, and the randomness is really high on that game. I mean, there's just way too much random shit that happens. But I'll be honest, like that's really it with last gen. Like, besides that, you know, I don't want to give any compliments, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But next gen, here's the thing: there's way more issues on next gen, but it's the fact that the problems that are on last gen are so big. Like the one step ahead thing, I think really kills the game, right? Because basically, this is how you could play on last gen, right? You could run 4 one step aheads, right? 4 one step aheads, and you could, there's 11 people on the football field, right? If you have 4 one step aheads, think about it, do the math. You could blitz a cool 7 people every play, right? 7 people, even 8. You could even send 8 if you really know what's going on, right? You could send 7 or 8 every play, run your one step aheads, because that's what I had to deal with almost every game. Pretty much every game I had to deal with that. That's why I got off it, you know. And it just gets boring playing against that shit over and over and over. It just gets so fucking boring. It's like, dog, I don't want to play this shit no more. And that's really what it was, you know what I mean? So there's that. And it really just brought back Madden 20 vibes to me, you know what I mean? I'm like, dog, get me off this shit, you know what I mean? That's another reason why I think, you know, last gen's pretty much dying. But next gen, there's a whole another breed of issue. The movement is terrible. The route running is terrible. The zones are just inconsistent sometimes. They're better than they were at launch, I will say that. But don't think that like that's a, you know, like, oh my god, they're improved. Oh, they're not. Them cloud flats do what they want to do out there, I'll tell you that. Oh my god. And the randomness factor is increased a lot more, I would say, on there. The craziness factors up a lot more, but at the end of the day, there's no meta on that game. I will say that. You can really do whatever you want on offense. You can really do whatever you want on defense. You just really have to know what you're doing. Like, you can play I will say this: you can play defense on next gen. It's not easy, but you really gotta buckle. You have to buckle down. I will say that. You gotta buckle down on next gen. But you know, both games are just bad, you know. It's just it just sucks, bro, because I just want to play a good football game, bro. And I know we kind of I talked about, you know, our wish list, so I don't want to say too much what I said in that. But another thing I kind of did forget to say, salary cap. They need to fix that. And isn't it crazy? Imagine this. Imagine a salary cap game mode. Just listen. A salary cap game mode, right? Where there's a cap, right? Where it's not crazy overpowered, and it's a balance for really good for no money spent people when you think about it. You know what I mean? Just, not too crazy. There's not all these overpowered players with abilities, and it's really just, kind of remind you of regs a little bit. You know what I mean? Team building and shit, right? No, that's not what that is not what salary cap is. No, that's not what salary cap is. You know what it is on Madden? You know what it is? It's exactly like weekend league and seasons. They're like, it's the exact same. Overpowered teams, all the nonsense. The meta's still there, right? The meta's still there. That's the killer. The meta is still there. One step ahead's all that shit, right? Literally abilities don't even count for cap in that shit, which doesn't make sense, right? Bring back a good salary cap, dog. I'm telling you, if they made salary cap like what some guys are doing, the Bovos, he does this thing where it's like a 900 salary cap team, plays with his viewers. That shit is lit. If they had that shit as the actual salary cap, I would never play weekend league. I wouldn't even touch seasons. That's the only shit I would play. That shit would be jumping. You know what I mean? But no, there is basically no salary cap in salary cap. There's no cap. The cap is so fucking high. It's like, dog, there was a cap. Like, you could like just, how like before it's like, make a team. You don't even have to make a team. You could just play with your team. Like, it's insane, right? And I know we're supposed to be talking about what's wrong with next gen and last gen Madden, but dog, let's be honest. There's so much wrong with the game. Like, I just love talking shit because there's just so much fucking wrong with the game, and it just pisses me off, dog. Like, and what really hurts is when the game starts to get boring. Oh, when the game starts to get boring and you're dealing with all that bullshit, that just puts me on another level of fucking anger. And y'all know what I'm talking about. When you've just had enough, and then y'all know what I'm talking about, bro. But I just want to see a good Madden, bro. Madden 22, pin this somewhere right now. Madden 22 will be worse than Madden 21 next gen. Remember I said this. Remember I said it. I want y'all to remember that, because, and when I say it's going to be worse than it, like, you can't even prepare for how bad that game's going to be. When I said Madden 21 next gen was going to be a terrible game, I didn't even expect it to be that bad. Like, that blew my mind away. Like, wow. So think about it. What do you think they're going to do to Madden 22? To be honest, what are they going to do? I mean, they're not going to do nothing. I mean, if we're being real, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to tweak some things and fuck some shit up. And that's really what's going to be. And I'll be honest, that might be where Madden just dies. I think Madden 22 might be it for Madden. I'll be honest. I think people are just going to say fuck the game. Because like I said, what's the deal breaker for me? If that movement is like Madden 21 next gen, and when I say like it, I mean exactly like it, right? If it's tuned and it's better, okay, we'll see, right? But if it's like how exactly like it is and there's no change, I'm not playing that bitch. I am not playing that shit. There's no way I'm playing that game. I can't do it, right? There's no way, right? But God knows what they're gonna do to that game. I can only imagine they make it worse. I can only imagine. There's no way I can imagine them making it better. And I feel bad that this is what we have to go through to play a fucking football game, right? Like, it's absurd, bro. And I honestly, Roger Goodell, I have zero respect for you because you allowed this to happen. Like, you're the one who signs off on the contract. You're the NFL, buddy. You're the NFL. Step up and do something, because you ain't doing nothing. Like, you're a disgusting man. And that's really all I gotta say, bro. I'm out. I'm out.